Sean Strickland and Quinton Rampage Jackson appeared together on Adin Ross's livestream, where several notable moments and controversial comments took place. During the conversation, Strickland openly criticized UFC heavyweight champion Tim Aspinall. He claimed Aspinall took the easy way out in his bout against Cyril Gane and dismissed Aspinall's abilities as a fighter. When asked about the eye poke that ended the fight, Strickland insisted it was not a legitimate stoppage and said Aspinall chose to quit rather than continue. He compared the situation to his own past experiences fighting through severe eye damage, stating that fighters should push through adversity rather than look for an exit. Strickland also addressed why he has no interest in competing on the rumored UFC White House card. He explained that fighting exclusively in front of politicians, billionaires, and elite guests does not appeal to him. While he acknowledged that the setting could be interesting, he said he would only consider it if regular fans were included. Otherwise, he stated he had no desire to participate in an event that felt closed off from the public and disconnected from the core fan base. Rampage Jackson then shifted the conversation to fighter pay and revealed details about the largest payday of his career. He disclosed that he earned approximately $7 million for his 2007 fight against Chuck Liddell, where he won the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship by TKO. Jackson explained that the massive payout came from a unique pay-per-view agreement negotiated while he was transitioning from Pride FC to another promotion. His manager, who later became a promoter, structured a deal knowing the event would not be a standard pay-per-view. When the UFC later purchased the promotion, Dana White was required to honor the existing contract, resulting in one of the most lucrative deals of that era. After the stream concluded, Rampage commented on his first ever meeting with Strickland. He suggested that something seemed off about Strickland's behavior, expressing concern over how freely Strickland spoke, despite reportedly being under suspension and supervision. Jackson noted that Strickland used language he believed was no longer acceptable and appeared unconcerned about consequences. While clarifying he did not mean disrespect, Rampage said Strickland appeared unpredictable and unfiltered, describing him as someone who says whatever comes to mind without restraint. Dana White recently stated that he is now on good terms with Dvalishvili, marking a significant shift in their relationship after years of public tension. The UFC president acknowledged that their dynamic had been rocky in the past, stemming from multiple disagreements both inside and outside the cage. One of the main points of frustration for White was Dvalishvili's refusal to fight his close friend and training partner, former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling. At the time, White made it clear that he was unhappy with fighters allowing personal relationships to interfere with matchmaking at the highest level. White also previously criticized Dvalishvili for what he viewed as reckless behavior outside of competition. The most notable incident occurred when Dvalishvili posted a video of himself removing his own stitches shortly before his first fight with Sean O'Malley. The clip drew widespread attention and concern, prompting White to publicly label the act as next-level stupid. That moment further strained their relationship and contributed to the perception that Dvalishvili was difficult to manage. Despite this history, White now says those issues are in the past. He expressed admiration for Dvalishvili's work ethic, toughness, and commitment to competition. White noted that Dvalishvili had pushed himself to an extreme level by attempting to break records in fight 4 times within a single year, a goal that demonstrated his willingness to take risks and remain active. According to White, that drive and consistency earned his respect over time. White emphasized that he now has nothing but love and respect for Dvalishvili, describing him as a dangerous and determined fighter. He added that the feeling appears to be mutual, pointing to Dvalishvili's demeanor and body language following his most recent fight as evidence of mutual respect. Observers noted that Dvalishvili appeared appreciative and positive when discussing White, signaling that their once strained relationship has been repaired. In a separate update related to UFC media coverage, longtime play-by-play commentator Jon Anik revealed that he has canceled his ESPN subscription. The decision comes as the UFC prepares to move its broadcast partnership from ESPN to Paramount. Anik confirmed the cancellation in a casual remark, signaling the end of an era as the promotion transitions to a new platform and distribution model. At 50 years old, Anderson Silva delivered another remarkable performance by defeating Tyron Woodley via second-round TKO on the Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua fight card. The victory further added to Silva's legendary combat sports resume and demonstrated that his skill, timing, and composure remain intact despite his age. The finish came after Silva set up a sharp uppercut that caught Woodley off guard and led to the stoppage, drawing widespread praise from fans and fighters alike. Following the fight, Silva used his post-fight interview to issue a direct call-out to former UFC middleweight champion Chris Weidman. Referencing his longtime nickname, Silva compared himself to Spider-Man and labeled Weidman as his Venom. Silva acknowledged that Weidman is currently injured, but made it clear that he is willing to wait until Weidman is healthy. He expressed interest in putting on a high-level boxing showcase, stating that it would be an opportunity to demonstrate how former UFC fighters can succeed in the boxing ring. Chris Weidman quickly responded to the challenge, congratulating Silva on his victory and embracing the call-out. He replied confidently, saying that Silva's Venom was ready and that he looks forward to meeting him in the future. The respectful exchange fueled excitement among fans who remember their historic rivalry in mixed martial arts. Several prominent figures from the MMA and boxing worlds reacted to Silva's performance. Israel Adesanya shared his admiration for Silva, saying he always enjoys watching his longtime inspiration compete, and punctuating his message with a spider emoji. Ariel Helwani reacted with disbelief, calling the moment incredible. Kevin Lee commented that Silva still has it at 50 years old, while Aaron Bronstedt echoed the sentiment, describing Silva as a testament to the human spirit. Mike Perry also weighed in, congratulating Silva on another impressive win while acknowledging Woodley for taking the opportunity. Perry added that he still believes in his own boxing ability and hinted at a possible return to competition someday, while humorously warning fans to be respectful, both in person and online. Chael Sonnen credited the finishing uppercut to a technique he claimed to have taught Silva, while Nate Diaz offered a brief but respectful shout-out. Alan Jubin highlighted the subtle ankle tap Silva used before throwing the uppercut, noting that Silva had practiced the move in the gym years ago. Jubin shared that he once borrowed the technique in a UFC fight and marveled at Silva executing it flawlessly again at 50 years old, calling the moment extraordinary. Paramount has made a significant announcement regarding the cost of accessing UFC content beginning in 2026, unveiling a pricing model that represents a major shift in how fans will watch the sport. According to the announcement, the total annual subscription price to watch every UFC event in 2026 will be set at $59.99. This single yearly fee is notably lower than the price of one UFC pay-per-view under the previous ESPN model, where individual pay-per-view events were priced at $79.99. The new subscription will provide fans with comprehensive access to all UFC events throughout the year. This includes all 13 numbered UFC pay-per-view cards, as well as 30 UFC Fight Night events. Instead of requiring separate purchases for major cards, fans will now be able to watch every event under one unified subscription, eliminating the pay-per-view barrier that has long been a point of frustration for viewers. In addition to live events, the subscription will also include new seasons of Dana White's Contender Series and The Ultimate Fighter. These programs have played a key role in developing new talent and maintaining fan engagement, and their inclusion further enhances the value of the package. Paramount confirmed that subscribers will have full access to these shows as part of the standard annual plan with no additional charges. The service will also feature an expanding digital archive of UFC content. This archive will include iconic fights, historic moments, classic events, and original programming spanning the promotion's history. Fans will be able to revisit legendary performances, championship bouts, and memorable storylines that helped shape the UFC into the global powerhouse it is today. Industry observers have already begun to describe the move as a game-changing shift in combat sports broadcasting. By offering an all-inclusive annual subscription at a price lower than a single previous pay-per-view, Paramount is positioning itself to attract both longtime fans, new viewers. The model is expected to increase accessibility, grow the fan base, and reduce piracy by offering a straightforward and affordable way to watch every UFC event legally. The announcement marks a new era for the UFC's media distribution strategy and signals a clear departure from the traditional pay-per-view structure. For fans, it represents unprecedented value and convenience, providing year-round access to the sport. His biggest fights, emerging stars, and historic content all under one affordable subscription. Paddy Pimblett responded confidently to speculation that he plans to rely entirely on grappling when facing Justin Gaethje and avoid striking exchanges. Pimblett dismissed that narrative, making it clear that he is not interested in playing it safe or approaching the fight with a purely wrestling-based strategy. Instead, he emphasized his desire to engage Gaethje on the feet and take part in a high-intensity stand-up battle. Pimblett explained that despite his long fighting career, he has never been involved in what he would describe as a true war inside the cage. He said this upcoming matchup presents an opportunity to experience that kind of fight, and admitted he is looking forward to it. When asked directly whether a war is what he wants, Pimblett answered without hesitation, stating that he always welcomes that type of challenge. Addressing critics who doubt his intentions, Pimblett acknowledged that many people laugh when he says he plans to stand and trade with Gaethje. He noted that fans and analysts assume he will immediately look for a takedown within the opening seconds of the fight. Pimblett firmly rejected that idea, saying his mindset is focused and that his head is in the right place going into the matchup. He reiterated that he plans to stand with Gaethje, apply pressure, and surprise those who underestimate his striking ability. Pimblett believes that once the fight unfolds, many will be shocked by how competitive he is on the feet. He described Gaethje as primarily a boxer who incorporates leg kicks while portraying himself as a more complete mixed martial arts striker. According to Pimblett, his striking style is not limited to any single discipline such as boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, Taekwondo, or karate. Instead, he sees himself as a true MMA striker who blends techniques from all areas of the sport. He expressed confidence that this versatility will become evident when he steps into the cage with Gaethje, promising that his performance will challenge expectations and change perceptions about his stand-up skills.